Hey guys, welcome to the Well Rounded Hour. I'm your host, Ciara Danae, and this is episode one of a podcast series I'm starting that is just all about becoming the best version of yourself. And while doing that, figuring out your purpose and trying to be a good person while you do it. Honestly, I'm going to just jump right into talking about how this podcast is going to help and what the main purpose of it is, why I'm doing it, what it means to me. And this episode is really just going to be an overlay of all things. It's not going to be like a main one piece topic. So, why is it important to be well rounded? Um, you have better problem solving skills when you're more well rounded because you're used to seeing all these different perspectives, you're getting different challenges because it's not one continuous challenge that you're going to face if you're working towards every area of your life. And you can also become a more adaptable person this way because life is very unpredictable. I could be thinking that I'm going to be a singer and then something happens where my voice is completely gone or I just can't sing the way that I used to or whatever the case is that completely changes the track of my life. And I feel like it's important to have those backup plans and just other things that you're involved in so that it wouldn't feel as devastating to lose something. There is an increased amount of confidence when you're working on becoming the best version of yourself because improving in any area, I mean, even physically, mentally, you just feel more confident in talking in rooms, walking into the rooms, and it can't hurt to just be pushing yourself in other areas as well. You'll be able to live a more balanced life. Um, Being more well rounded just promotes well being and prevents like the feeling of boredom, like as if you're only pushing towards one thing. When I first started singing, I was like, oh my gosh, now that I'm doing this for like work, is it going to become something that's less enjoyable to me? But I still enjoy it because it's not the only thing that I do. And it feels like a passion for me. It adds on to the reasons why I think this is so important. It helps you build stronger relationships because you're practicing emotional intelligence, setting boundaries, having social skills, being able to have a conversation, hold eye contact. You can upgrade yourself as a person in so many different ways. And if you're not, I just feel like life gets boring and sometimes you can fall into the pit of feeling like you have less of a purpose. Not saying that you do, but you can feel that way. And honestly, it kind of starts to make you feel lost and you can slide into like a depression or just kind of feeling hopeless. Honestly, in the past year of my life, so much has changed for me. And I feel like it has made me a better person. And I've been working towards being a better person in more ways than one, but we'll obviously get into that in future episodes. And also, being a more well rounded person, you're just going to have more opportunities because you're not just good at this one thing or pursuing this one thing. You may have more to offer. Like maybe you and this other person that you're going for like a job or something for, maybe you both have the exact same skill set, but maybe on top of yours, you've done public speaking and this is for like a work conference position or something. So it can just set you above a little bit. And who wouldn't want just some more opportunities to come their way? Let's talk a little bit about what you'll be hearing about on my podcast. So, the number one thing is just growth in all areas of our life, self improvement, becoming that better version of yourself so that you can feel more confident, so that you can have those opportunities. So, it won't just be one thing. And like we can say, taking care of the physical, right? And I feel like they all tie in so well together, like physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. They all tie in together. So it just levels you up as a person. So, first of all, physical things like going to the gym. How do we build those habits? Like, how do we get ourselves to do something that is hard or feels impossible? For me, I went on a whole weight loss journey and it completely changed my confidence. But this is something that I'll be talking about. And, there's other physical aspects of life that you can grow in rather than just going to the gym. What are you putting into your body? How are you taking care of your skin? All these different things that can help you improve as a person. Mentality, are you positive? Do you meditate? Do you read? Do you challenge yourself mentally? There's a bunch of different things you can do in that realm. And emotionally, are you emotionally intelligent? Like, can you communicate your feelings? Do you allow other people to communicate their feelings to you? Do you take it personal? Like learning how to take accountability in different situations. It's okay because we're all wrong sometimes. So just because someone tells you how they feel about something doesn't mean they're attacking you as a person. Like, we all mess up. I mess up. You mess up. Everybody messes up. It's okay to admit that we've messed up. The most important part is that accountability and admitting that you've messed up. And sometimes you have to just take the blame for yourself and be like, my life is this way because I did this, and that's it. Having boundaries, which is something I really learned in this past year, which we'll get into, but, being able to just say no or speak on things that you want to talk about. Sometimes it would make me anxious, like if someone asked me a question and I wanted to say no, but like I felt like I was letting them down. But by not letting them down, I was letting myself down because I was putting myself in situations where I was like, I don't really want to go to this, or I don't want to do that, or whatever the case would be. Growing spiritually, having that relationship, for me, I'm a Christian, so having that relationship with God is something I've really been working on. It gives you a different kind of peace to, know He is always with us. He's always got a plan for us. And it takes out a lot of that extra stress when you really just leave it into His hands. And as much as you could just figure, oh, life is not just, oh, God will do it. No, you still need to be putting in the work and figuring things out. I don't want that to be misconstrued. You still have to do the work. There's literally a shirt that says hard work, God's work, and hard work. And I want it so bad, and I haven't gotten myself to buy it. But like, that is life. It's a collection of both. We'll be talking about goal setting and achieving. So oftentimes I think about like, okay, I want to do this, or I need this, or want this, whatever the case may be. Somewhere in this world, it is lined out for you how to get there. There's an outline. And if you really truly follow it and don't let anything stop you, you can get there and achieve it. It's just how hard it could be to do that and to tell yourself like, no, or to tell yourself, yes, I need to do this or get this. And just how to achieve those goals and how to make them so we're not just achieving and we're done. We're setting a goal that can have a following goal after it to keep improving. Different perspectives. Now, everybody grows up a different way and everybody has their own beliefs, and we have to learn how to be able to listen and communicate with people in a respectful manner. There's no need that because you're this or that, we can't have a conversation or have a relationship, because we're all going to have different opinions based on our experience. And I feel like a lot of the time we just go right to disrespecting the other side of whatever it is, whether it's politics, whether it's how we feel about something emotionally, whether it's religion, whether it's any of those things. So just being able to understand that we all have different perspectives because we've all had different experiences, and that's something we can empathize with and give each other grace. I feel like a lot of people have a hard time giving other people grace, and that's something we're going to have a lot of on here, grace. And knowing when to give it, So being angry is really like harboring a terrible emotion within yourself. And nobody wants to do that. I feel like nobody wants to do that. So yeah, just giving people grace. How to build healthier habits, whether it's what we're eating, the way we're speaking to people. For me, social media scrolling is a really bad habit that I'm trying to break. I haven't broken it yet. It's definitely something I'm working on, and eventually there will be an episode about it, I'm sure. It's I know I have to break it, and I know how much more time I'll have to do everything else and actually be building into myself, because when I do put it down and just go to the gym, go grocery shopping, come home, meal prep, like those are the days where I feel best. So that's something that I'm working on too. Um, why is this important to me? Like, why is this something that I'm doing? Because I myself am striving to be the best version of myself. So I feel like this will be just good for me as well. And, you know, I know where I was before. So to be able to have a clear mind now, like the peace that's in my mind now and my heart is so different from the way things were before. I was, I still get anxious, but I was a very anxious person. Like one thing could really ruin my day. I had poor boundaries. I had so many excuses. I was afraid to speak up or tell someone if I didn't want to do something, and a lot of that has changed now. I also want to just go back for a second. Like, this podcast will also talk about relationships, both in romantic ones, friendships, family, coworker, all different types of relationships, because those are areas that we can grow in as well. Back to why this is important to me. Having a sense of purpose is very, very important. There had been in the past when I was in certain relationships, whether they be romantic or friendships, where that person felt like my all because I had nothing else going on. I don't want to say for me, but there was nothing else I was doing for me around me. And it became honestly just torture being in that position. And I had no sense of who I was. So it just really messed with me mentally. And it was just not cool to be in that situation. It's not cool. And I know a lot of people can relate. And you'll feel better once you're two individuals coming together and working side by side to build something, rather than one person is like leading the way and the other person is like trying to do whatever they can to make them happy. It just doesn't work when it's that way. So, also, becoming a better version of myself challenges me in so many different ways. So, being able to just, you know, set a goal, like with my fitness goal, I was 200 pounds after COVID. So, I got to a point where I was like, something needs to change here. Like, I need to do something different because this is obviously not working. And I could never picture myself putting down the sweets and the pasta and just like mozzarella sticks and overeating. Like, eating, it's not supposed to, it is enjoyable sometimes, but it's not supposed to be so enjoyable that it like consumes your whole life, and that it's like the thing you look forward to. Like, I was rewarding myself with food, and realistically, I should have been rewarding myself with food that would make my body and mind feel good, and I wasn't doing that. I was rewarding myself with food that tastes good. So that will be for the physical podcast about like health and fitness. I need some tea. Okay, so other reasons why I'm doing this and why it's important to me is because it will make me a better person in my friendships, in my relationships, to my family, to myself, to my future husband, to my relationship partner, to my kids. It will just make me a better person, a better coworker, a better everything. So I do want to be looked at as adding to the people's lives that I'm around and in, and just being understanding and there for them. And, I like to have a good time with them. I like to create memories with them. And by being sort of reactive or just like worrisome all the time, it made it less enjoyable in those friendships. And relationships. Like now I feel like I'm my own person and I can add to something. Whereas before, like I was just so caught up in different things that I couldn't even be present in the moment. Like this is also teaching me to be present in the moment, and it has made me less anxious as a person. Another reason is learning is fun. Learning a new skill. Right now, the skill that I'm learning is piano. And dang, it really humbles you to learn something new. It really does. Because when you have mastered a different skill, like singing, I can do because I worked for years at that. But then when the piano comes over, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just a completely new ball game where I am like the beginner of beginners. And I'm thinking about how, why didn't I start this when I was 4? But obviously I can't go back. So it's challenging me to do something new. It's cool to learn, it gives me a little bit of a hobby. And you can take pride in what you accomplish when it comes to those things. Another reason this is important to me is missed opportunity and potential. I want nothing more than to be able to take any opportunities that are going to excel my life and get me more excited about life. So, by making yourself the best version that you can be, you're preparing yourself to take those opportunities right away. You're not sitting back and doing nothing and then, oh, the spotlight is on me. Now I got to do something. No, you need to work in the dark. Work in the dark. You need to go to the gym when you don't feel like it. You don't just go to the gym to post a picture that you're at the gym. That's not what it's about. You've got to be working when no one's watching as well and doing things that you know are going to make you a better person. Because if you're only doing it when other people are watching, it's not for yourself. You're looking for that outside validation. Outside validation for me, like 2 years ago, was like ruling my world. And it's just not, what's the word? It's not feasible. It's not, like, you can't, it's not long term, whatever. I can't even think of the word right now. But yes, that is also. What do I hope to come from this podcast? So, I am hoping to build a community of people who desire to be the best version of themselves, who want to push each other, who are looking to learn about things that are going to make them a better person, how they're going to be happier, and just want a little more peace in their life and their relationships, and are learning to be present. And this podcast is not just me being like, oh, I've been there, done that. Like, this is my journey. This is a documentation for me of my life and what I'm going to be going through and how I will face and handle different challenges that come my way. It's not just, oh, this person is done. Like, we are always growing, and that's the whole point of this. Even when you think like, okay, I've mastered this. No, you haven't. There's definitely another level higher you can take it. I'm also hoping to get some different perspectives. Eventually, I will have people come on. Obviously, this is my first episode. I don't even know how it's going to turn out until I see it, or I don't even know how I'm going to attach the audio and video. So it's going to be a learning journey for me. But, like, this is the learning journey, This is all new to me. So it's going to be cool once I get to, like, bring other people on and see where they are at in their lives and, what they're working towards. Like, for me, I would say dream wise, I'm working towards singing, career wise, and like realistic goals, I'm working towards nursing because I feel like I'll be a really good nurse because I care about people deeply. I really do care about people. And we'll talk about everything like caring about people, how you show them you care about them. Then the singing. Did I say the singing is my dream? I did already say that. Fitness is me taking care of my body. And it also, fitness, working towards my dreams, the nursing, it's all going to take care of my mind as well. Hanging out with my family and friends and just working on being present in the moment, not worrying about external validation, validating myself and being validated by God is all I'm working to need, And this is hopefully going to be a place where like we can learn, we can give grace, we can not only give grace to each other, but we can give grace to ourselves, because nobody's perfect and everybody has made mistakes. And this is honestly something I'm like really, 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 really excited about. And I hope other people will be excited about it too. Like, I hope people will engage. I know this is going to be like not as long as maybe all the podcasts would be, especially if somebody is like coming on it with me. But yes, I'm really, oh my gosh, I'm really just looking forward to see like what we can form here, and to see everybody's journey and what they do with this. I'm always free to answer some questions. You can drop them below. My socials are also below. And yes, I'm very excited to get to know everybody and for you guys to get to know me, and to just bring different perspectives on here and talk about some different things that I'm really excited to just dive into. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of episode 1 of The Well Rounded Hour, and I hope you've enjoyed.